I was always taught if you wanted to see something done or change, to get involved. So I got involved, and we had long conversations, Justin Trudeau and I, about our vision for the country, about partisanship, about what politics means, and how we were going to, if we were fortunate enough to get into government, operate differently. That's what I signed on for. The person that presented himself to me so many years ago, in the journey that we had together, didn't turn out to be the same person at the end of that journey. And, that is incredibly disappointing to me. There's such opportunity. There were so many promises made, many of which have not been fulfilled. But I still believe what I believed back then. I'm still the same person with the values and principles. And that's, one of the things that led me into running as an independent member of parliament, was the belief that politics could be less partisan, that all voices matter. And I'm so grateful that the people of Vancouver, Granville saw that that was possible and elected me as the first female independent member of parliament in our country's history. So there's examples out there.
So the book, its title is Indian in the Cabinet. Indian in italics on the cover and quote marks on the book jacket. It was obviously a phrase that you chose specifically. What is you're the first Indigenous Justice Minister, but you chose a title Indian in the Cabinet. What are you trying to tell us with the title?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of discussion around the title, and I love that. And obviously the title was a good one because it creates dialogue. I signed up, never before having been a member of a political party, was elected as an MP, became the first Indigenous Minister of Justice, Mojag. And I come from, and I'm in my territory right now, the Lihutha Muskama people. I'm a proud Indigenous person and a proud woman. I came into government with a very different worldview, but certainly a worldview that expects consensus building and making decisions in the manner that the Prime Minister and I had conversations about early on. I found as the years went by that my voice was marginalized, that I faced an incredible amount of bias, discrimination, racism, and realized that the legacy of colonialism and its impact on Indigenous peoples doesn't discriminate. And I found that, and I faced that around the cabinet table as many people face it around a lot of tables, and realizing that I'm an Indigenous person from a small fishing community, proud one, going to Ottawa, and realizing that I was simply an Indian at that table with all of the negative connotations. The Indian Act is the major piece of legislation on the books still, as it that impacts Indigenous peoples and subjugates Indigenous peoples. And that led to the title of the book and the reflection about how far we still have to go as a society